How's everyone doing? Here up in the Oregon Mountains in New Mexico, directly across the Tularosa Basin from where I was earlier in the week, Sacramento Mountains. I'm up here. The topic for today's video is it's stalking, but it's the simplest part of stalking. And that's the foot placement. That's your walk, how you walk when you're stalking something, whether that be hunting whatever game, whatever you want to be stalking, sneaking up on, whatever. The number one thing, in my opinion, from everything I've learned, the first thing you need to learn is how to walk properly if you're going to stalk something. It takes time to learn. There's a lot of exercises that you can do to do it, whether solo or in a group setting, right? But it's one of the most important things, because if you don't know how to walk properly, right? You don't know how to walk properly, then you can't. When you're stalking, it starts from the ground up. It starts from the feet up. The way you walk goes into the way your body flows and the way you move when you're stalking something. It includes tracking. Not all tracking includes stalking, but when you're stalking something, you're obviously close enough from your tracking. You know where it is and X, Y, and Z. So, I got this nice little wash bed here. You don't necessarily need a sandy bottom like what I have here to show. I'm wearing my waxy boots, but I brought a plethora of different type of footwear. I have moccasins. I have 5-finger shoes. Just to show the way the foot moves in a shoe, and in a normal type boot, and in a almost like a barefoot. I might even do it barefoot. I don't know. But yeah, so up here we're gonna show you there's two methods. There's heel to toe and there's toe to heel. I'm going to show you both methods. Personal preference also depends on what you have. I'm out here with nothing. I just have my brushstroke coveralls on and a pistol. I'm just here to make this video, right? I just walked out and I'm here to make the video. You might be using something like the heel to toe because you're not carrying a lot of weight, because weight also transfers over to how you're going to be stepping. Because if you got too much weight, you don't want to step you really don't want to step on your tippy toes, because you're less balanced than if you went heel to toe instead of toe to heel, right? So we'll go over heel to toe and toe to heel. And yeah, so let's do that. Let's do it first with the waxy boots. And I'll show you from a side angle and from a, like, if you were facing towards me angle, all right? So the heel to toe method, you put your heel down, so when you're walking rather slowly. It's a slow pace. You want to put your heel down first, which gives you the straight line, the support, the straight line of your entire leg behind it, not on a pivot point like on your ankle, right? So heels down, you put your, here, I'm going to hike my pant leg up so you can see. Put your heel down first, and you roll the outside of your foot first, and then your toe. And you can take 10 seconds to do the movement. You could take 10 minutes if you had the strength and you were stalking something, you were well camouflaged enough, and you were so close to the thing, the prey, the game that you're stalking, that you take minutes just to roll your foot down before your entire foot touches the ground. And then you shift your weight onto that foot. You pick your other foot up, and you do the same roll. Now, I use heel to toe when I'm stalking if I'm actually like in not necessarily full kit, like full ruck kit. I wouldn't try stalking with an entire fucking kit of stuff. Stalking really is more reserved for something like you close in recce, close in reconnaissance, where you maybe have a chest rig and a rifle, maybe just a rifle with one spare mag and your camis, and you're doing a close in recce, and you don't have a lot of gear on you. That's me in my personal opinion, right? So you step with the heel, you roll out, and you go onto your toe, and then all the weight is distributed onto your foot, right? So that's, here, let's see, I gotta just make sure, there we go. All right, so ready? Hike the pants up, ready, watch. Step, heel, outside to the toe, all the weight is distributed onto the foot, then you pick the other foot up, and you step the exact same way, right? So I'll show it again. This is, for me, the preferred method for if you're carrying weight, gear, trying to move quietly, because there's a difference between stalking when you're close to something and stalking where like you're moving to an area and you're trying to be as quiet as possible. This is applicable for both those uses. All right, so heel, the very back of your heel. Now it's going to leave a predominant mark. If you're anti-tracking, you wouldn't want to use something like this, because if you're anti-tracking, you will most likely use the heel to toe method if you're going slow. But if you're in an E&E situation and you're anti-tracking, you're just doing quick things to get rid of your tracks, right? So like I said, this is for like if you have a lot of gear and you're trying to move quickly and quietly, because also this, doing toe to heel is a lot more tiring, because you also have to focus more, as opposed to, so like I said, straight line. You got your full leg to take all the weight, instead of tippy toeing, right? Where you you're just on your toes and it's not as balanced, right? So heel, roll on the outside to the toes, and you flat all the weight on, and then you move to the next foot. All right, that is the best, in my opinion, for when you have when you're weighted down with a lot of kit. Now, the next, here, I'm looking at the camera. So from the inside of the foot, heel, or hold on, like leaning towards the camera. All right, so heel down, outside of the foot, to the toes, planted firmly, and you pick up and you do it again. Right? Should I do it? Yeah, I'll do it from behind. Let me just make sure I'm in frame. Pull my pants up enough so you can see my. Can I see it? All right. So pants pulled up and flat the ground. So heel, outside of the foot to the toes, flat and planted, and then up, and you're moving. You do it again with the other foot. So, all right, that is heel to toe. All right, now toe to heel is for when you're not as weighted. Like I said, I like to use heel to toe for when you're weighted down and you're trying to move stealthily. Toe to heel, where am I? Toe to heel is for when you're actually really like trying to quietly come up on something, where, like I said, with heel to toe, you could take 10 seconds or 10 minutes. It more so with heel to toe, because the other point is you've got your toes. Now, whether you're barefoot or you're in light footwear or boots, you still have your toes. See, when you bring your heel down, you can't really feel around with your heel. But when you do toe to heel, you can bring your foot down and you can feel with your toes, is there a stick? Is the ground soft underneath? Am I going to be putting down my pressure, like with the heel, and putting my pressure down? Okay, there's the ground. Ground gives out a little bit, right? With the toe to heel, you can poke around, feel around. Is there a stick? You can feel the resistance. Oh, is that a stick? All right, I'm going to move my foot here, and then put my whole foot down slowly. Right. So in the toe to heel method, it is more apt to 10 seconds, 10 minutes to be like feeling. Okay. Toes down first. Roll back. You're rolling, I guess you're rolling either way, but rolling back on this outside of the foot to the heel, planting the entire foot, right? And then doing the same thing here. Is the other foot in frame? All right. This isn't obviously a full stride, but toes, feel, feel, feel. Here, can I go out that? There we go. Okay, you can still see it? Cool. Feel, feel, feel. Okay. Toes, outside of the foot to the heel, planted. Now, what? And so when you pick your foot up, when you put your foot down, heel to toe, you want to go the reverse it when you're picking your foot up. So you want your heel off first. All right, you want your. I want to try and step properly. I got my pants pulled up. All right. You do your heel outside to the toe, and your foot is up, and then you would come back down, right? You would come back down, and uneven over here. Uneven ground too, using your toe to heel method. So can't see that. So say there's like a rock right here. Using the toe to heel, you could feel, okay, rock, is this going to put me off balance? Is this going to put me off balance? Or can I do this, right? Feel, 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 and then can I do this? Well, is that more balanced than like going wide? Depending on your path too, the path you're taking. Is it something just like, thin, like this is clear for me to walk on through like a wash or a riverbed or something? Can I do this, or is there an embankment on this side, an embankment on this side? It's just it all has to do with the flow of the way you're traveling too, how you put your foot down. Like I said, if there's a rock here, I'm obviously, I feel. And remember, you're also looking at your quarry. You're looking at your prey. You're not looking at your feet this whole time because there may be danger around you. So that's another reason why you want to use your toes when you're doing toe to heel. Feeling around, there's a rock there. I don't want to look down because I'm looking at my game. Rock, can I put, okay, well, because see now if I put my foot down here, then I have to travel in this direction. Can I travel in this direction, right? Is it gonna make more? Am I gonna be going farther, quote unquote, farther out of the way to be going this direction than I would be? Feel the rock. All right, I'm gonna place my foot like this, get it good and planted, right? Take my time, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, get my foot good and planted. A branch in my face. Get my foot good and planted, and then bring my other foot up. And right, rock. Okay, rock. Toes down. Roll. And I've stepped over the rock that's in my path. One of the nice things is you can move yourself directionally. So my feet are firmly planted, but I'm facing this way. Facing this way. I want to be going straight like towards you guys. That's my movement, right? That's my path of movement. So all you do is you can pick your foot up slightly. And also, you probably can't hear it. I don't know. But the gravel underneath, you want to move slowly enough and put your foot down. Hear that? You don't want to be making that. So you want to pick your foot up, put it down, replant it. And now I'm kind of on an angle where this foot isn't the one that's going to be moving. It's going to be this foot. So this is planted in the direction I want to go. And then just all the weight on that. Picking this foot up. And then moving into the direction. I hope that's understandable. But that is, the toe to heel method is a very cautious. It can be, the longest I've stalked something, practicing with primitive skills, the longest I've stalked something was a flock of ducks in the fall. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, camied up on my legs and arms and face. I had a boonie with just a little bit of foliage around the rim of it. And I think the longest stalk I've done, and I moved about 125 yards, and it was about 4.5, 5 hours of movement down towards the waterfront where these ducks were. And they were just sitting there. It was near the end of the day, so it was getting darker. So they were in this cove to stay protected, right? I started learning this during my primitive skills stuff I did in Maine Conservation School when I was a early teen. And I've been practicing it. What does that put? 15 plus years. I also generally, going back to heel to toe, that's generally how I walk, whether or not I'm doing, whatever, fieldcraft, stalking, hunting, whatever. I generally walk heel to toe, outside to toe. Unless I'm walking really fast, that's the way my foot rolls. And it puts, see that? That's how I generally walk. And then when I'm like sneaking up on my wife in the house, I will toe to heel, like freaky sneaky tippy toes, right? That's the whole premise of sneak. But you don't want to be moving just on your tippy toes because it's not as balanced. You want to practice tippy toe to heel, fully plant. You see my foot, like I'm wiggling my foot, fully planted. All the pressure up, down again, right? So there you go. Was that enough of a demonstration with the boots, or do you want moccasins? You know what? I'll do the moccasins. All right, so I got my moccasins on. Get this fucking branch out of my way. All right, so I got my Minnetonka moccasins. Let's do, facing towards you guys, let's do heel to toe first. Rolling to the toes, flat, up, heel to toe, rolling to the toes. Okay, then we'll do toe to heel, rolling, flat, pick my foot up. Now, when you're doing toe to heel, especially when you're actually stalking into something, getting close in, you don't have to be taking long strides. Your feet should not move more than 12 inches apart from each other when it goes like this. So, foot down, right toe, pick my foot up, toe to heel, solid. Pick my foot up, toe to heel, solid, right? No weeble wobble, complete flat feet. Well, I have flat feet too. All right, from the side we'll do heel, toe, plant them flat, heel, toe, plant it, right? All right, and then from the side, toe, roll to heel, planted, up, toe, roll to heel, planted. All right, there you go. So let's let me. So there you go. That's the two simple / the simplest way to start and practice stalking, whether for hunting, whatever game, or tracking. That is, you practice it all day. Like I said, I do heel to toe all day, every day. That's how I walk. Do heel to toe, practice heel to toe, practice toe to heel when you're like trying to be quiet through whatever, your office, wherever you work. You just toe to heel, right? So, freaking, that's it. Simple tricks, simple things to practice. Yeah, I'm gonna move on to. I'll do another bit of body movement, how you're supposed to flow when you're stalking, heel to toe to heel, particularly when you're moving, and you're looking up the entire time. You're using your toe as you're using your toe as your eyes for your feet. The fuck? But it's true. You're feeling around. You're not looking down. You're feeling around, and then you're being able to put your whole body, your pressure, your body weight down, right? So, um, yeah, there you go. Um, that'll be the next bit, and then maybe camouflaging. It's just a pain in the ass with the fucking charcoal and the clay and the camouflage paint, putting it on, and then not using it. Right? I make it for a video. It'd be covered in black and brown camouflage paint. So yeah, so there you go. I hope you guys found that informative. Message me if you have any questions. Um, yeah, I'll be doing a little bit more on the camouflaging and the stalking and whatnot soon. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Have a good day.